Welcome, everybody, to the Grimdark Breakdown. And if it's Monday, that means it is Meta Monday. Let's see what armies were on top, who rose, who fell, and who probably stayed at the very bottom. We got two quick housekeeping things we're going to jump into, and then we're going to dive right into the list. Because it is February, and we had to follow the ever-generous Games Workshop, where if you go into any store, they'll give you a single Termagant, which I don't know what you're going to do with one, but they could do it. I guess you could use it for basing or something like that. But here at the Grimdark Breakdown, we are actually doing a pretty good giveaway. So what you'll see here is we've got 40 of the little bugs running all over the place, enough for a swarm, 2 Psychophages and a thing of Barbgaunts. This is actually enough to put into 2 boxes that we will give away. So all you have to do is comment the word Tyranid in any of the Meta Monday videos. So you can do it every week, just like we did last month. So you can comment 4 times throughout February, but you have to subscribe to the channel. You have to like the videos, and then the word Tyranid is your entry to win. I will tell you, we did just launch the Discord, which Jason's going to go over here in just 2 seconds. That's how we'll get your information, and we're going to start posting lists and things like that. But the big thing for the month is it's love at first bite, $350 worth of bugs. If you want it, you know how to get it. I'll let Jace cover the Discord, and then we'll jump into it.
So the Discord, upon popular request and some downtime at work, I got our Discord up and running. There will be a link in the comments below, probably pinned or in the video description, whatever Drake decides to do here.
Video description. Should be in the video description.
So, sorry, my nose is wanting to do something crazy. It must be the weather around here. But so you can post lists in there. We got a channel for most factions. If your faction's not there, reach out to me on the Discord. I'm Jason in the Discord. Pretty easy to remember. Just reach out to me and I'll add it. You can post your list there. If you want to post your painting that you're doing, you want some critiques of your painting. Drake paints, I paint, a couple of other of us paint. So we're there to give you any kind of advice you need, but it is there. If you want to get a TTS game in with Drake or myself or somebody, or you're looking for a group to TTS with, there's a channel for that. There's channels for voice if you want to get in there and you want to play a game. Drake and I will be in there playing games maybe one night and we live stream it or something for you guys to see. But that's their bunch of things we've got planned. Discord's going to be the main avenue for pushing that out to you guys, and it should be fun, and we look forward to engaging with you.
And just so you know, for anybody that wins, how we'll get your information is by you joining the Discord and sending me a message. So like last week, when we announced our winner, I actually gave a sneak preview of the Discord to our winner so that they could jump in, so I could get their information to ship off all of their fun Tau miniatures. So that's how we'll be giving it away. Jason and another gentleman named Joel have built it all. So if anything doesn't work, blame them, not me, because you don't want me in charge of technology.
Look, I got rid of the neck beard. So
let's get into it, man. So I flipped the script a little this week, and I created a new section called the Dark Days. So there are some armies that live in the Dark Days. So the Dark Days are armies that they might pop up and get 1 win, but then they just live in the dredges. Imperial Fist, you got your own detachment, so I'm going to count you. White Scars, Raven Guard, you had your time in the sun, but it's gone. Salamanders, Iron Hands, you're about to get one here in a week, so that's the reason you're here. Agents of the Not a Faction, you're there. And then we have Grey Knights who have struggled. And then there's one other faction, which I think Jason noticed.
Space Corgis?
And it is the Space Wolves. You know, they have been, these are all the armies that have really been struggling this data slate. And they might have a week where they get 1 or 2 wins, and then it's like right back to 0 and right back to 0 and right back to 0.
For the record, he wants all the smoke.
I didn't do anything. I just
literally
Googled
Corgi.
Space Wolves, and it was the first image I found. There was no Photoshop or deep searching of the internet to find it.
Why are you lying to these people?
I'm not gonna lie, I was really wanting one with the Chihuahua, but I couldn't make it look good. Anyway, so we're gonna jump into and real talk, all of these armies, with the exception of the successor chapters, when we're talking about Space Wolves, Grey Knights, and Agents, Agents doesn't count. Grey Knights and Space Wolves, I fully expect they should be getting some love in this next data slate. They really need it, whether it's rules or points. They're struggling. They really need it. All right, 0 armies. I'll do a couple and then Jace can take some. My sisters didn't have any showings this week, unfortunately. The bugs are heroes of the month. I was really surprised. I actually think Subterranean is still a very good detachment. Knights, I think Knights are just in a tough spot, and Votan the same thing. I just think Votan play too honest of a game. They don't have enough damage to deal with the Catons and the big puppies, but at the same time, they play too honest a Warhammer to deal with all the cheeky armies.
Yeah, the other ones that we got up there, Death Watch, World Eaters, Chaos Knights, they're kind of in that realm of, people figure them out. I'm still intimidated by World Eaters across the table from me, but apparently not a lot of people are playing them right now. Even though that new Defiler looks dope
He
that all the
does.
Chaos Legions are getting, but I digress. I've never seen a World Eater player use one.
Didn't
Death
even know we
Watch,
could.
yeah, well, news today. Um, Death Watch, I'm not gonna catch smoke, but they haven't fared too well.
Death Watch, the thing about Death Watch is there's only a handful of players. So it's just when those players go to a tournament and then they have to do well. So that's the reason you don't see them up that much. World Eaters are just overcosted, in my opinion. I think Tyranids are a little overcosted. And I think Sisters are just struggling into this meta right now, honestly. All right, let's get into our 1-win armies. So Orcs, I'm gonna talk about Orcs because I looked at this. There was an Orc player, won one of the biggest, he went 6-0 at one of the biggest tournaments of the weekend, Green Tide. I actually don't, I think Orcs need some love, but I don't think they're in a horrible spot. My biggest surprise of this entire week was Blood Angels. They've been very good, and I actually think they're pretty good in the meta. I think they struggle into Necrons, but I think everything else they're actually pretty good into. Them only getting 1 win kind of shocked me. And Eldari and Emperor's Children were the other two that kind of shocked me a little bit. Like they typically are hovering right around that 1 win. I actually think they're both good armies, so I'm really kind of surprised why we're not seeing more success. I honestly just think it's low play rate right now. I think a lot of Eldari players got pissed at the nerfs, and so they picked up a different army that they own. And I think that Emperor's Children, I think because they struggle into stuff that's T11 or more, I think a lot of Emperor's Children have just put their army on the shelf because of the Necron menace for right now. Just my 2 cents. I'll let
Well,
Jace take the others.
maybe Aldari they quit borrowing their friend's army
Could
and
be.
went back to their original. Black Templars, this is rare. Normally they're in 0 or
Yeah.
in the death pile down there, but someone piloted them to some success. Chaos Space Marines, I can see their play rate going up, which will
It's going to
mean
go through the roof next week.
which we might see them up in the 2, 3, 4 placements. I don't know if I would go insane with their placements, but once people get their hands on
Bro,
the
have
Red
you looked at the data
Corsairs,
sheets?
like they could be up there. They could be
So
challenging.
tiny 2-second tangent. If you haven't watched some of our other videos, their new Red Corsair Raiders have 3 wounds apiece, which means that they are tough. They have Infiltrate, which is great, and they have 2 OC. An infiltrating body with 3 health and 2 OC is really good. And if they kill anything, they go to 3 OC for the rest of the game. They're really, really good. Their leader's pretty good too, a solo infantry unit that has infiltrate that you can run around. Like those are some strong units. I'm not as sold on Huron and his gang of misfits, but like that is a good unit, and I think it fills a need that Chaos have of a good skirmishing infiltrating unit that has good OC.
What's the
So
movement on them by chance? Do you
I think it's
remember?
either 6 or 7.
I mean,
They're fast.
they're
They're fast.
fast. They'll get in you.
Yeah, they're good. And their leader gives them their leader lets them reroll charges. So
Nope.
like yeah, so imagine you've got like I think they're going to, you got a 5-man brick with a leader, you infiltrate them, and then you're going to move them 6 and you get to reroll charges, which means you're going to average like a 7. So I mean,
Yeah.
you could very realistically get those guys, have a 15-inch, 14-inch, threat range on turn 1 very conservatively. And with infiltrate, they're 9 inches away, so they could be in you real quick.
You don't, it's going to be all about opponent deployment, but
Yep,
expect their play rate to go up, which means they're going to move up on the list. Chaos
absolutely.
Demons, at the beginning of January, we saw a lot of play out of them. Maybe the Chaos Demons players are sleeping right now. Maybe they're playing with new toys. I mean, there's a lot of FOMO boxes out there right now. Maybe they're picking those up and painting them. Going to compete with those armies here soon. They're still stat checky, just like Necrons. So, I mean, I
Yeah.
could see
I think that
Them,
they're just a shittier version of Necrons right now.
yeah, I could see them getting some play though. They have some shenanigans, and Death Guard, we bounce around. We'll have a good outing one week, and then we'll take a nap, and then we'll wake up and we'll have a win, and then we'll take a nap, and then we'll win six or play
Yeah.
six times. It's very push pull with them. I mean, I play them, but I mean, the meta's away from us right now.
Here's my just 2 cents on nerfs and buffs to try to add some commentary here. I expect orcs to get a buff. I expect blood angels to get a nerf. I expect Eldari to stay flat to get a teeny buff. I think Emperor's Children will stay flat. Black Templar need a buff bad. I don't think Chaos Space Marines are going to get hardly anything because they're getting so many new models.
Yeah,
I think Chaos Demons need a little buff, and I think Death Guard needs just a little buff.
I agree.
All right, let's get into the twos.
The twos.
So this was interesting. At Mac, the only two players that placed were first and second at the same tournament, which I found kind of just funny that worked out. I think that here's my take on AdMech. If you started at AdMech Army at the beginning of 10, you had 3 painful years, and you finally have had 6 months of good, solid army. I honestly think they're a good army. I think they could use just a smidge, like nothing crazy, just a smidge. But I think they're a good army.
Gene Stealer called, I've been saying these people are hiding like cockroaches and eventually they're going to come out. They got 2 wins this week.
They do.
I mean, every summer when the weather starts acting funny, it's like their little gene stealing selves just come out and play and they place. I mean, it's one of those armies you see across the table. If you don't have a friend that plays them, you're like, what the hell do y'all do?
Drakari's a similar way. Drakari's not a super popular faction. I think they're in the best place they've been in, not being in an overpowered state. I expect both Jane Stealer and Drakari to get maybe a teeny bit of touch ups, or side grade. A few points go down, a few points go up. The interesting thing about both of those armies, Gene Stealer and Drakari, AdMech is super balanced and they have a shit ton of models, so they can do everything. But Gene Stealer and Drakari are actually in a very similar position that they're very MSU. They have a lot of units. And in a meta where there's big stompy monsters, and so a lot of people are using big guns to kill those big stompy monsters, they can actually do well because you don't have the volume fire to deal with them. Now the problem, Drakari doesn't have this problem. The problem Gene Stealer have, the reason I don't think we've seen a lot of them, Gene Stealers struggle to kill the big stompy monsters. And so while I think they're in a good position for people to not have the weapons to deal with them, they don't have the weapons then to subsequently deal with the big guys. All right. We got 2 and 3 here. I'll take my boys and you can take so I'm cooking on a new Dark Angel list. I actually posted in the Discord. I think it's really good, man. I think it's really, really good. I have played since the Texas Open. I think I've played somewhere around 10 games with it, and I've won all of them but one. And the one game I lost, I lost it. I made a stupid deployment mistake, and then I made a very, very, very dumb mistake and just straight up forgot a unit and just didn't utilize them. So I think in a meta where everybody has got the big guns, a good Dark Angel list basically doesn't have any big expensive piece other than the Lion, and the Lion's got Lone Op, so there's that. And then he's got +1 to wound. So most of the time you're wounding him, almost everything in the game is going to wound him on 4s, and then he saves on a 3. I think the Dark Angels are in a really, really good spot. I actually had a buddy that wanted to play me, and we played the first game, and I just dog walked him. And then he was like, I want to play again because he's trying to get better. And he actually has hired a coach to help him become a better player. And his coach was sitting in to watch the game. And I was like, what army you want me to play? And I was like, I can play, about 5 different armies. These are the 3 that I'm the best at, but I can play any of these. And he was like, any but Dark Angels. And I was like, why? And he goes, I think Dark Angels are one of the biggest pain in the ass armies to fight. And I have to agree, man. I don't think there are as many players that are playing them right now, but I think they're a very good army. And I actually expect in the data slate, I think sadly we'll see the Lion go up probably about 10 points. I think we'll see Landspeeder Vengeances go up 5 to 10 points also.
Tau, they're still shooting people.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're running
it's
MSU Tau. I looked at all the lists. It's just a fucking shit ton of units.
it's hard to, like, if you've watched all of our Meta Monday videos, they've been consistent. You can't say they haven't been. They've been in the 2 to 5 range.
They're in a good
Most of
place.
the videos. I mean, they took down the Open. Believe it was them that took down the Open
It was. Yep.
with Votan in second. So I mean,
I
it's
think that was a
crazy.
fluke. I think that was a player, not an army thing, but I do think Tau is good.
It's a crazy game of Warhammer we play.
Tau can deal with the big stomping monsters. They have the firepower. They
Oh
have
yeah,
the
they got the firepower.
they got the volume to deal with the little stuff. I think Tau is just one of those armies very similar to World Eaters because they're obviously two sides of the coin. It's an expression army. How good of a player you are will determine how far you can go.
Hmm.
If you're good, the army will help you be great. But
Yeah,
if you're okay, the army isn't going to give you that much of a crutch because it's got some hard holes in it. I
exactly.
actually think there'll be a sideways. I think they'll have a few that'll go down in points, a few that'll go up. You had one army in 4, and it is the Golden Boys.
And it's 2 detachments that are carrying the way.
Yeah, it's I think some people are playing solar and I think it's a good attachment. I think it does well. The big thing that people are doing is it's 3 land raiders with 3 warden bricks and it's it's 3 giant vehicles with a 2 base save, 12 toughness just coming at you. And then it's a whole bunch of bodies, right? So it's a stat check in its own. We are definitely, we go through phases where it's like we're in a shooting meta, we're in a melee meta, we're in a stat check meta right now. And they are one of, in my opinion, the 3 big stat check armies.
Yeah, you better be able
But
to handle them land raiders.
dude, I like that they're good. Like I think
Oh
Custodes are
yeah,
a cool army. And so I think it's cool to see them getting some wins.
for sure.
I honestly don't think they'll touch Custodes. I think they're in a balanced place. If anything, unfortunately, what they may do is like the 15 points that they saved you guys last patch, they may make each land raider 5 points more or something.
Hey, I'll tell you one person that's hiding behind the tree like that meme, licking his lips and rubbing his hands together. That's Folger Powell 2 years
Yeah.
ago, piloting the Custodes to the World Championship.
Yep. 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 All right. Let's keep rocking. So we got 3 armies with 5. And it's the same 3 we've been
Oof.
seeing. I'll let you start.
Thousand Suns, again, like they are the best of chaos right now.
100%. No question.
I mean, there's no holding that down. What is surprising though is Ultramarines.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. So Thousand Suns, we'll stay on them for just 1 second. Um, they're running different things, but the big thing is 30 Terminators. And it's since Worlds, for 5 months now. It's been difficult to deal with. It's a different version of Stat Check, but it's 30 Terminators that are 2 up, 4 up that are nasty, that have good damage, a lot of shenanigans. I think they're a good army. I think they're table dependent, mission dependent, but they are what they are. Skipping to Ultramarines. Oh, go ahead.
I put 30 Blightlord Terminators on the board. I get shot off the board.
Yeah, the difference is they have a lot of shooting.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, Blightlords have shooting, but the Terminator. I wish other people had these Terminators that
Yeah.
they have.
Cough, cough. I wish I could get some red butchers. I don't even want guns. Just give me Terminators with twin linked axes.
Yeah, give me more axes where
Brother.
you can ask somebody a question.
I have 30 custom converted Primaris World Eater Terminators just sitting back here, just collecting dust that I just bring out to troll people.
You're
But
waiting.
I am waiting. And here's the thing, if they give me new models, doesn't matter that I have 30 custom ones, I'll go buy 30 more. Ultramarines. Here's the thing about Ultramarines. They didn't get nerfed, anything changed. I think the thing is that Ultramarines, they go through a teeter, okay? They're the most played army. So here's what happens. When they're good, everybody has an Ultramarine army because like I have a Dark Angels army. All I need to buy is like 3 models and just say that they're green Ultramarines. So like everybody can play Ultramarines. And so what happens is they get good and people that are trying to win a tournament bring them out. And so their placings go up really, really fast. Then what ends up happening is the meta starts shifting around when people figure it out and then they kind of like level set. And I think that's what it is. I think they're in a very strong place. I think they're a very good army. I think Thousand Suns and Ultramarines are going to see nerfs. Ultramarines will be lighter because they're the poster boys, and it is what it is. You can hate about it, you can rage about it, doesn't matter. It's the way it'll be. Guard, grizzled veteran, I have played Grizzled Veteran. I have played more Guard players since Grizzled Veteran came out than I have in all of 10th edition combined. Everyone apparently has a Guard army, and they are bringing them out. And the thing about it is that I actually don't think it's hard to beat. I think Guard is an easier army to beat, but you have to pay attention to every single turn because they will have 3 dudes and the next thing you know that's 12 OC and you're like, "Wait, what?" And it's like, "Yeah, well they got the thingy and the banner and the order and you're just like, "God." Or they'll bring 5 guys from around the corner and it's 40 shots. So like the thing about Guard is they like when they're humming, they're tough to beat, but they in my opinion, Guard is like a house of cards. And the moment you start chipping away at the foundation, the whole thing gets shaky. So the moment that their 20-man brick, which is meant to hold a thing, you kill it on turn 2. Now the entire plan that they've built has started to like crumble because everything is built on something else. But on the flip side, when Guard starts rolling, this is what happens. And a lot of people just get scared because it's a lot of models, it's a lot of OC, and and they do have very efficient tank shooting now with reroll ones to hit is good, and then when you're on a point, rerolling ones to wound fixes a lot of their inefficiencies in shooting. I personally, it's gonna be a hot take. I don't think Guard need a nerf. I think if they just left their points where they are and let the rest of the meta shift around them, I think they'd be fine.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do anything, then the command squads, which are what all the command squads, bump them up a tiny bit in points because they always take them with the different units, and then it would level out all the armies.
I'm gonna make another hot take. I don't think you're gonna see a change in Guard until all those Christmas boxes and all that finally make it off the shelf.
Yeah, yeah. That's one of the things. On a side note, if you guys, I see in the comments all the time, people are like, "Oh, it's sold out." Do not, do not buy your box set from Games Workshop's website. Like the box sets that are $220 from Games Workshop's website, if you go to any of your local
250.
store,
250.
250, forget about the price hike. You go to any of your local store, and that's where I'm getting it. Your local store, it'll be like 220. You'll save like $30, which by the way adds up. And rule of thumb, go to one of your local stores and ask them that boxes always come out on a Saturday and go, "Hey, are you going to have them?" And then go there early. Dude, I've showed up with my boys before out front of a store, waiting 20 minutes for them to open so I can walk in, get the box set on release. Like you can get them. You just might have to like go to a store, but don't buy them from Games Workshop.
Shop local.
Yeah, save yourself the money too. All right, so here's the interesting part. So we had, help me with this. You're a teacher.
Mhm.
2, 3, 4, 5,
Oh, there's a gap.
12.
12.
12.
12.
12. So
If shards are your game, Necrons are your vessel.
it's not just shards, brother. I looked at the list.
It is nuts.
It's all over the place. It's everything. I saw one guy, he had 6 Catans. He had 6. It was basically his whole list. He only had 8.
That's 8.
He had 9 units. He had 9 units, I think, and 6 of them were Catans. And he went 5-0.
I'd say that's like 1,800 points.
Yeah. So here's the thing to people that are like, Necrons are still at the top. And here's the deal. I'm just going to be frank. If you're playing a good Necron player, you're going to lose. Like if let's say on a 1 to 10, if your player skill is a 7 and theirs is a 7 and they're playing an optimized Necron list, unless the Emperor blesses your dice, you've lost the game. They are an overtuned army. They're too strong for what they cost, and it just is what it is. We go through periods of this. It's not a big deal. Whenever you see this consistently, if you've been watching Meta Mondays, you see them always at the top. It's coming. It's coming, and it's not going to be pretty. I hate to say this, but the first book was Necrons and Ultramarines. And wouldn't you see those 2 armies are at the very top of the meta?
That's why I said Ultramarines was surprising. Normally, them and Necrons are neck and neck.
Yeah, but
the Necrons have
Necrons have taken the cake, and here's why. Ultramarines, you think that they're not an easy army to play. People think they're an easy army to play because they're the blueberries. They have a lot of like I have to shoot it with unit A so that
Mm-mm.
B now gets this benefit. And so there is some of that. Necrons is I've got my giant Power Ranger. I'm going to move up the board and he is going to yeet you. Cool story.
Here comes the
And
transformer.
yeah, you shot me. I have a 4-up invuln and a 5-up feel no pain. So even though I fucked up on my positioning, I'll probably be okay.
And
Oh, and then I'm going to
reanimation protocol.
heal, yeah, on my turn if I messed it up. So, spoiler alert, the Eldari. So we already know next week we're getting Eldari, we're getting Chaos Space Marines, and now we know we're getting Voton and we're getting Orcs. The Voton and the Orcs, who knows? Because of the new detachments, they've either been hot fire or hot garbage. But I would not be surprised if Chaos Space Marine and Eldari start rising up. And if one of the other two is decent, you'll see them rise up too. So I think we've gone over everything, brother.
Yeah, I think we have too. I mean, I hate it. It's kind of on repeat, but I like it when we see new people rising from the ashes.
Yeah, here's what I actually kind of find interesting is that the 3 armies we thought that were going to be strong, um, 3 of the 4 are strong, and Blood Angels had an off week, but I think they're going to continue. I do think it is cool that Custodes and Tau are doing better than we thought, and they're starting to rise up. I think the game is is a little top heavy right now, and I think we'll. I mean, we only got about another month and a half till balance data slates come out, and then it'll start level setting itself.
Yep. And remember, we got a giveaway this month. The bugs that are not in your bed, the Tyranids.
Bugs.
So, yeah. You got the Termagants, the 40 of those. You got the 2 Psychophages and the squad of Barbgaunts.
He remembered it. I thought he
Hey,
was
look
going
at
to mess it up.
that's why I paused in the beginning. But all you got to do is post Tyranids below. Uh, like, subscribe to the video, join the Discord. We want to conversate. We love conversation.
Yeah. So my plan with the Discord, just to kind of help you guys out, is that's obviously how I'm going to get you guys information as we continue to do these giveaways. But one of the things that I've been getting a lot of questions about is list review. So I don't know what night we're going to do it yet, but we'll probably start doing like one night a week where we'll do list reviews where me and I'll probably grab a couple other buddies that play as well. And we'll just hang out in there and we'll just do some list reviews, talk about units, help you build lists with the units you have, things like that. So just to kind of help people as they're growing and developing. But hopefully this has been fun. Hopefully this has been informative to you guys.
One last thing.
Shoot.
If you like Drake making a corgi a space wolf and you agree with it, I'm gonna help him out. Say what the next puppo should be. And it might find itself in some armor next week. You never know with this troll below.
Listen, I mean, I didn't think about it, but maybe I will start making custom icons for all of, because I found this. I didn't technically make that one. I found it.
Well, I know you found it, but I'm just saying.
But I might make them. I might have to make them. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to see. But hopefully this has been helpful. As we do every Monday. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Drop a like for the Emperor, subscribe for more 40K content, and we will see you guys in the next one.